Hey there, have you ever felt like I'm going to throw in the towel? Being my own boss is way too hard. I'm always strapped for time. There's always so much to do, and so much of it rests on my shoulders. If you're finding that being your own boss, running your own business, while you absolutely love it and you wouldn't change it for anything, is feeling a little bit unlike what you imagined, it's not exactly the dream business, then you are in the right place, because today we are talking to three successful business owners who are growing and scaling a business. And while it's not all roses, they've figured out some things that are helping them grow and scale successful businesses, sustainable businesses, businesses where they're not just working harder, but they're making an impact on their families, on their clients, on their communities, on their industries. And today is an opportunity for you to meet them, to hear their stories. I'm going to be asking them questions. They're going to be asking questions. And this is an opportunity for you to also ask questions that are going to support you in growing your ideal business. Just before we get them on, there's a couple of things I want to say. One is, we don't want to be this little guy. We don't want to be the hamster on the wheel. And so often, the busier we get, the more clients we get, the better known we become, we end up on this little treadmill. And this treadmill keeps us really, really busy, working harder and harder, but the results don't always show up in our bank account. And so today, here's what I want you to know: that having a successful, profitable business centers around just one thing, and that is creating a profitable business. That is really, really key. And so whether you are money driven or mission driven, as long as you are in business, creating a sustainable business that feeds you is going to be an important part of your longevity. And you want one that grows without you having to work harder, because you've already tried that. I've tried that. I just get more and more tired and more exhausted and more overwhelmed. So how do you do that, even if right now you're doing it all yourself and you do feel exhausted? That's what we're going to be talking about today. There is another way though, right? And you know that because you're seeing other women out there who are growing businesses, who are creating reliable revenue. And when you can put your attention on actually growing a real business, not just a hobby business, you start to see rewards like a reliable income. So you no longer have great months and crappy months. It's no longer feast or famine. You have products and services that your clients absolutely love, and you're finding that your cash flow, the money in the bank, the money that's coming through from month to month gets a little more consistent, and that takes the pressure off. When you create a profitable business and you make that one of your focuses, you can hire a team, which means that you're not the one having to make every decision and do all the things. You can also make an impact. This is one that's really important to me. And that impact can be on your family. It can be on your bank account. It can be on your community. It can be on your faith. Whatever it is that drives you, that is your big why that you started your business in the first place, you can make more of an impact when you have more money, when you have a more profitable business, where you're not scrambling, when you know that there are clients waiting for what you have to offer. You can also do things like follow long-held goals, like writing a book. That's a goal that I've had for a while. But it might be something different for you. It could be that you want to join a mastermind, or it could be that you want to travel, or it could be that you want to do some other sort of investing, like you want to take the money from the business and you want to invest in real estate or stocks or whatever you're interested in. That was a priority for me and PJ, my partner, when we started our business. We wanted to have a business that brought in some cash that we could then invest in real estate. And that has allowed us to, from quite young ages, not have to rely on working hard, knowing that our investments were working harder. But for each one of us, it's something different. Really knowing what's important for you is what we're going to be talking about here today. Because here's what I see every single day. Some of us are throwing spaghetti against the wall, hoping something is going to stick. The other thing we're doing is we're working so hard in the business, we're juggling all the balls, we're spinning all the plates, that we just never feel like we're on top of things. Or perhaps for you, it's that you are going so fast, but you don't have a solid plan. And so you get distracted by bright, shiny objects, or you're not exactly sure if where you're spending your time is actually the right thing. Finally, maybe you're feeling squeezed for time. You're doing all the things, but you can't work any harder. There's actually no more of you to go around. No more of you to go around. So what do we do? What do we do to grow a business that's thriving, one that feels easy, like these little children's blocks, and one where you don't feel overwhelmed, but instead you feel joy. You are enjoying what you're doing every single day, where you're not burnt out, but you're in a state of flow. And how do you take the business from being a hobby, right? That type of hobby where when you meet up with your family on the weekend, they go, how's that little thing you're doing? If you've ever had that happen to you, you know how frustrating that is because you know how much time and effort you're putting into your business. And you want to stop business feeling like a roller coaster. The other thing is not having to do it alone. We're going to be talking about that today because the women that I'm speaking to in just a moment have each taken on board support, whether it's peers, whether it's accountability partners, whether it's contractors, whether it's staff. They've brought a team around them so that they no longer have to do it alone. And we're going to talk about how, as you grow your business, you really want to start thinking about doing less and obsessing. This is one of our mantras inside the HerBusiness Network, is that we don't have to do all the things. We just need to focus on the few things that really make a difference in our business. And that's what we help women do every day inside the HerBusiness Network. So today you're also going to hear about the HerBusiness Network because all three women are members of the HerBusiness Network. And right now the doors to the HerBusiness Network are open. So if you want to step back from doing everything and finally getting some support, that's what the HerBusiness Network is designed to do. And today you are going to hear how the women right here have stepped back from doing everything to finally letting people to help them run the business by doing the admin or customer service. You're going to hear how your business can be successful even when you're not the primary person doing everything. And one member is going to tell us how she raised her prices substantially and raised the demand for her services at the same time. And another went from working all days of the week to 3 days a week. And a couple of our guests have made big changes over the last 18 months because their businesses had to shift due to COVID. And they've structured things now in their lives, in their businesses, so that they have accountability, they have marketing that's working better and better, and the business is starting to pay off more and more. Now, the doors to the HerBusiness Network are usually closed. In fact, we only open them a couple of times a year. And right now, right up until 9 p.m., tonight, those doors are open. So if you want some of what you're going to hear today, if you want a more sustainable business that helps you really finally realize the ideal business that you want, that lets you feed your soul every single day, you're doing something you love, but you're not just doing something you love, you're also seeing those rewards. And you want to be part of an incredible community of like-minded women who are also growing 6- and 7-figure businesses, then you want to be on the inside of the HerBusiness Network. So we'll talk more about that a little later on. For now, though, what I want to do is I want to introduce you to our guests. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring them on. And today we have with us Sandy, Ruth, and Leanne. They're going to tell you who they are and what their businesses are all about. And we'll do those introductions one at a time, and then we'll get started. So here is Ruth. Hey, Ruth. Oh, okay. Everybody's here. Ruth and Leanne are here. Great. And it looks like Sandy might still be making her way here. So, Leanne, why don't you kick us off? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leanne Hughes, and I'm a physiotherapist. I help people who are experiencing pain in their bodies or injury to find relief and prevent recurrence using specific treatment techniques, exercise prescription, and quality education. And I do this both online and in studio.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Very, very good. And Ruth, what about you? Oh, you seem to be muted. While you're unmuting, Leanne, would you just go ahead and check your input and make sure you're coming in through the computer because it's a little bit crackly, but we'll come back to you in a minute. Hey, Ruth.
Hi there. Great to be here. So I'm Ruth Hurst, and my business is called Synergy Effect, and we empower leaders to create online and hybrid event experiences that ignite their brand and motivate action whilst reaching a larger audience and gaining greater ROI.
Okay, great. Now, both of our women have introduced themselves using what we call a connection statement. So in that connection statement, they're telling us who they are, what they do, who they do it for. So I want to ask each of you a question. I'm going to kick off with Leanne. Now, Leanne, there was a point in your business when you realized that the business could actually be successful without you being the primary physio treating the clients. Tell us about that moment when you went, oh, it doesn't all have to be up to me.
I had to have a lot of trust in myself and in the business. I needed to hire wisely and put faith in my staff. All the clients at the time or patients wanted to see me and were very demanding on me. And I really just had to get to a point where I stepped out and said, no, my other physios have got this. And as soon as I did, that's when I really felt like a business owner. That's when I saw that the clients, it was just a small transition. They just had to learn to go to somebody else, and they saw that they could get the same results, and that I was still here. As long as they knew that I was still here and touching base, they were very happy.
That's great. So I think there's a lot of people who do find themselves in that situation, is that, but sometimes it's, it's in our head at some level, and that the clients will transition. We just need to create that pathway for them and let them know they're still in a good place. Now, Ruth, something that you've said about growing a business is that it's been important for you to stay curious and being willing to have the business be something beyond what you even imagined. Can you speak to us about that?
Absolutely. Being in business for over 20 years, there's been a lot of that because the industry's changed so much, being in events and conferencing and incentives. And especially in the last 2 years with COVID, we've had to radically relook at how we do everything, our whole offering, but also really just to stay open, because none of us knew what we would have to do going into COVID, and it's just keeping on growing. We're going into some really interesting things like the metaverse, and half of us don't even know what that is, but we're finding a way. It's about being creative and just always willing to be on the edge of innovation and just look for solutions that keep driving you forward.
Because for you, COVID hit, and for a lot of businesses, that has been like a stop in the road. Businesses that, even like businesses like Leanne's, where you're working one-on-one with clients, suddenly you can't. Suddenly you need to discover other revenue streams. And I saw many members inside the HerBusiness Network who had been planning on doing something online for a while, who was suddenly forced to either do it or die, because we could only hold on to, things will get back to normal for a little while. And we saw like 2 waves of this. And so I love that, staying open to the business evolving. When I started my business, we used to have an events business that physically went around cities and did events. This organization, HerBusiness, used to run events with guest speakers and canapes in Sydney, Melbourne, and sometimes Brisbane. That was the model. That model is obsolete. It doesn't allow us to help women in regional and rural, and women increasingly overseas. So staying curious, even if we are not young. And I say that not for you to necessarily, but I feel sometimes, especially those women who've been in business for a while, we get a little stuck in our ways. And the thing is, we do need to stay nimble and curious and keep moving. I want to talk about confidence. And so one of the things that can have us feel confident is knowing that the direction that we are going, knowing what our North Star is. Ruth, talk to us about your North Star, that thing that keeps you moving in that forward direction.
Yeah, and Susie, I have to really admit, and one thing that's given me a lot of confidence is just being really honest and authentic and not having to be something that we're not. And I think a lot of people got more present to that since COVID, and people being real in terms of how they present themselves. But for me, it's about working to purpose. So my purpose has always been to create experiences that connect, inspire, and reward people. And working with clients, and we really try and tap into what that is for the client's audience and give a meaningful experience, as well as meeting the business strategy goals, but really having those people feel a part of a connected community and a sense of belonging. So when I stay true to that, I feel that I'm really making that difference, and I can ride the waves because I keep coming back to that, because ultimately I'm a people person and I want to know that I'm making a difference to the work that I do, no matter how that's being rolled out.
Just before we go to Leanne, one of the things that we're doing here today, if you're listening up, is that we're looking at 3 key things that we need to reflect on and consider as business owners. One is, how are we thinking about ourselves as a business owner? Because so often we think about, what are we doing? What are we doing in our business? What projects are we working on? What marketing campaigns are we running? But we don't really think about, how am I looking at what is important for me? What is my North Star? How am I keeping myself on track? And so what we've heard just now is that, Ruth is very, very clear about why she does what she does. Leanne, how has your confidence in yourself changed as a business owner, as you've gone from being a solopreneur, you're dealing with all the clients, to growing a team? What does that look like for your own confidence as a business owner?
My confidence has grown significantly. I at first thought that I could hire another physio. I thought we're both professionals. I hired another physio with similar experience, and I thought they would just work beside me and happy days. And then I realized that was not what they wanted. They wanted me to step up. They wanted me to be their leader. They wanted me to guide them. And yeah, my confidence has grown significantly. And I just believe now that anybody that walks through the door, I can make a change. And I say that to my staff, like whoever walks through the door, you can make a difference in some way. It might not be as much as I can with more experience, but you will make a difference to them and how they feel. And that's made such a huge change.
Wonderful. One of the things I'm very excited for is that women inside of our network, one of our commitments, as I mentioned earlier, is helping women grow more scalable businesses, grow businesses where it's not just relying on them, and really starting to build their confidence that they can do this. They can really be a successful business owner. Because many of us, we don't come out with an MBA and we're, ready to grow a team and we know how to do all the things. I know for me, I knew marketing and I knew a little bit about systems. I knew how to run an event because that was my background, but I didn't know how to deal with people or technology or, all the other aspects of business that, we grow more confident as we start to learn some of these things, as we start to do some of them in practicality. Hire that next team member, step away from that task that we no longer need to be doing, let go of that part of the business. What would you say some of your biggest mindset shifts have been, Leanne?
Definitely confidence in myself as a leader. That's got to be number one. And that just meant really trusting that I could step out and I could lead, and that everything that I had learned, my experience, could be shared with others, shared with other physios through learning. I could actually teach them what I knew. Definitely trust in myself and my team, knowing that even if I wasn't here, the reception, the physios would do a good job. They had the same mindset as myself, and just I call it success mindset. Just knowing that I deserve to succeed. Why not me? I offer something that I think is amazing. I offer the best of me through the business, and why not me? The company. Just I have the mindset now that the company will succeed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk in a minute about what we actually do inside our business, because we want to have our mind in the right place. We want to be thinking about things the right way, but there's also certain things that we need to do in order to create those more profitable businesses. But before we go to that, Ruth, has there been anything in particular around your mindset that has shifted as you've grown in your business?
Really just to remind myself and stay true to, it's not all my responsibility. Being in business for many years where it was solely my responsibility, and I always brought in subcontractors and specialists depending on whatever project or on the scale that it was, because we're ultimately a projects business. It's just really having faith and great relationships. So I've always been really, really true to everyone succeeding, from the client through to us and our suppliers, and making sure that things are fair and reasonable. But also then to trust the team and know that we all have different strengths to support each other for the greater good. And that's a really big thing. And ultimately, sometimes I still get a bit overwhelmed, can I juggle it all and wake up in the night? But, I've made choices to have a business partner and also a team, and I need to rely on them because I've got things in my life, like, growing a family, that I still also need to have energy for. So it's about keeping things in a fine balance, I think, most of the time.
Now, you've met a number of members inside of the HerBusiness Network. How does being part of our community influence how you think about a business owner? Like, what have you seen other women doing that might have had a positive impact on you? Leanne, is there anything?
Oh, sorry, I have to think about that one, but so much, because the answer's so much. I just see each of them being really true to themselves and really true to what they offer, and really valuing themselves. That would be my key thing, is valuing what you do.
Sandy, who couldn't make it here today, she was having internet issues. One of the things that I know she told me is that when she joined the network, very soon after, she raised her prices. I'll actually find the exact
quote. I've got a story.
It was you. It wasn't Sandy, it was you. Tell us that story.
So So I pretty much the first time that we spoke, I said I was undercharging and that I should put up my prices. And I spoke about putting up my prices a very small amount. And Susie, you said, no, if you're going to make a difference, make it significant. So I did. And prior to this, I had always been so concerned. I'd asked people about how to put up prices, and they said, oh, you better put a date that you're going to put the prices up, and you better advertise, that it's going up. And I felt like I had to justify it. This time I was just like, nope, I know that I offer a good service, and I just put the prices up, just 15% on all the treatments, 25% on the classes, and not one person asked a question. They just walked through the door, and now it's like there's just demand, like there's a wait list. There's a wait list, and I thought putting up the prices would be the opposite. Not at all. Not at all. They just know that they're going to come here and get the service they need. Yeah, it's incredible. The only person, a funny thing that somebody did say, because I put it up 15%, it was a very odd amount. And somebody said, why is that an odd amount? Just charge it,
So I hope you rolled it up. I hope you rolled it up, not down. Yeah,
we rounded it up. And so that's really, it was amazing. It was amazing. I feel so confident that I could do it again. Yeah.
And you know what? You probably could. One of our other members who is, she's a nutritionist. She helps women to conceive naturally. Her name is Tasha Jennings. And I've, on a couple of occasions, encouraged her to raise her prices because she was working late into the night. She's got 2 little kids, and her services were in such high demand. She never wanted to turn a woman away, especially a woman who so desperately wants to have a baby and could use her help. But her appointment book was just booked forever. And I said, you know what, you're probably not charging enough. That's probably why you're so booked out. And so she raised the price, didn't change a thing, raised the price again, didn't change a thing. Now you might say, oh, but and so she's now able to free up some time to spend more time with her family, maintain her income, and those women are still getting way more value than they're paying for. And so often it is actually in our mindset that we think we have to justify. And so inside of the network, it is one of the things that I do like to encourage is most of us are undercharging. And the truth is, if you asked me 7 years ago what you could buy from me, the most that you could give me in any given year was a few $100s. Right? Because even I didn't have the confidence, even though in my last business, we would do 2-day weekend programs for $5,000 US. In this business, again, I don't know why, I had a different mindset about the value that I was bringing. And when I realized the value that I was bringing, now we have our mastermind program, we have our retreat where women who are at that particular level in business, they're willing to invest in their business at that level because they know that the return will be there. So I wanted to mention that. So I wanted to ask you about the actual day-to-day of growing a sustainable business, because my guess is that what you're doing now in your business looks very different to what you were doing when you started your business. What are some of the things that you have definitely outgrown and now leverage? And tell me how it was to let go, Ruth.
Oh, it's still a bit scary sometimes, but for me, it was, I used to have to do all the finances, paying the invoices and things, as well as managing each of the events. A part of the area that I found hardest to let go is some of the detail, and especially when it's relating to client relationships and knowing that the consistency and the standards would be kept up, because a lot of my client relationships over the years were really fruitful, and that gave me a lot of joy in the business. And so because I really love those relationships, that's been really hard, because I may not always know how to step into a conversation and just hop into the detail, which I don't need to. I can join a meeting or join in any time. But just really knowing that all those things are covered. So having systems, having processes, having good people that are trained and that I trust to do the jobs is great. But also then knowing that there's some things that I'll jump in and out of depending on the size of the event. So I tend to only get involved on the larger projects where there's more complex event design or something, and they need that higher level project management and relationship in there. But over the years I used to do anything from floral and styling and entertainment, and now I can get a coordinator to do a lot of that sort of stuff. So some of it I really enjoyed. So now I also need to go, well, where can I bring some of that creativity back into my life to fuel myself?
Right.
So some of those
That's
things,
interesting, isn't it? Because especially because I'm sure you were great at all those things too, right? And you could
Yeah, I
do them
loved
with your
it.
eyes closed and probably better than anyone. And sometimes it can be more of a challenge to say, okay, I am going to let go of that because I really have outgrown it. But now I need to fuel myself by stepping into this layer of creativity or spending more time on strategizing or finding that big strategic alliance. And I know one of the members I was speaking to just yesterday, 7-figure business, has big goals to grow that, doesn't have any problem with the growth side of the business, but where she gets stuck on is that to grow, she knows that she needs to become more visible to the public. And so for her, that's her same for you, right? And then we get, okay, I'm getting goosebumps, which means as we roll into our programs for the new year, we're going to need to do something about that because becoming visible is so important for us. It doesn't mean we all have to be, TikToking or, showing our faces on all the social media. What it does mean is that we need to feel confident in being the face of our business. So, all right, I just went on a little tangent there, but I'm going to come back because I think we just touched on a vein that a lot of women will relate to. Now, Leanne, your team specifically asked you to do something. And it had something to do with staying away. Tell us about that.
They asked me to get out because I was still treating clients, and I had 2 other physios here. And as long as I was here, they would always choose me first. So we had a meeting, and my receptionist was very strong, and she said, "You need to leave. Essentially, you need to close your book." So I did. I was at the time, I think I was still working 6 days and 3 nights taking classes. This is over time. I'd cut down just the working days, and then I just cut completely. And I didn't see really success in the business until I did that, until I closed my book and people got to see the other physios. But I kept myself here. I felt exactly like you, Ruth. I knew everybody's name. I knew everything that was happening. All of a sudden there were new clients. I didn't know who they were. And you feel that little bit of distance. But that's when a lot of trust had to come in, and I could access any information that I needed, but definitely it was a little bit of a shove in the right direction from my staff. Push in the right direction.
Good for them. It takes a lot, right, to tell the boss to get out.
They did. But
I've been told more than once to
I think
get
that's
out of that fight.
It's nice if you've got a team that you have the honesty, and that's where when you've got a fairly small team still, you are like family more than a larger corporate environment, which is nice.
And they knew that things like marketing weren't getting the attention. Like they knew that I could put my attention in better places.
And you have, and I want to speak to that because you've been a member of the HerBusiness Network for long enough now to see the benefits of being part of the network. And I know for you, one of the benefits has been to start to put your attention on crafting compelling offers for your practice. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Thinking about, because you're going to one physio, you could line up 10 physios and they're pretty much doing the same thing, but you're thinking differently about your marketing as a result of what you've learned inside of HerBusiness. So talk to us about this idea.
Well, that's been so nice because I had no idea that I even presented or what an offer should include. And just working through my offer and my mountains and looking at how I could combine things and make something that's very appealing and makes me stand out as a physio has just been excellent. It's made my product, it's made me understand my clients. It's really, really huge. And I'm still working on it, but it's every time I refine it, I just feel like it's getting better and better and better.
One of the things that was just happening was we were cutting out a little bit. So I'm just going to repeat that so that everyone hears that. So
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. What it could be just your AirPods running out of battery. What Sandy was talking about was that she'd never thought about actually pricing and naming and bundling her products into an offer that was compelling. So she's been putting her attention on that side of her marketing, which means that you can't compare her services to another one because of the way that she's put those together. And for her as a business owner, getting out of the day-to-day has allowed her time to think about her marketing in a totally different way. And this is strategic, working on the business kind of work that we just don't get to do when we're stuck doing the busy work. Ruth, how would you describe any of the benefits that you've had since you've started being part of the HerBusiness Network?
Yeah, and just to help throw on what Leanne said as well, I feel that just being in the conversations, you actually see from business owner to business owner how you can just grow stronger and in your confidence as well. And because the environment is very trusting, people turn up at warts and all and go, help, I need this help in this area, or give me some feedback here. And I think sometimes when you're a business owner and you often feel like you need to have all the answers, it's a really great space to just share and then feel part of a connected community. It's been really nice.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to ask you some of the questions that we typically get asked inside of the HerBusiness Network, because I'm sure you can answer them as well as I can. And so one of the questions is, I'm new to business. Is this network right for me? What would you say, Ruth?
Yes, definitely, because it will help you build a plan from the base up. All those areas, the growth framework, Susie, I'm not sure if that's the right term. I haven't looked at it for a little while. But
our growth, our growth framework, our her business growth zones, we call them, and they're areas of business that any sustainable business has working. And inside of the network, every month we're focusing in on these areas, depending on which one you need to focus on in your business right now.
Yeah, so there's some really great tools and techniques within that help you see it to build up that strength so you can have a solid foundation. So that's been really helpful.
Now, one of the other questions we got asked, and I think you might both be able to answer this, was, does the monthly price include the small group accountability groups, or is that additional? Well, I can answer the price question, and that is no. Your accountability groups there's no extra charge. We include goals groups. Now, these are peer-to-peer accountability groups, and you're matched with someone in a similar stage of business or with similar aspirations or similar size team. There's a number of different criteria, and then you become really business board members to each other, supporting each other. Are you both in goals groups?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So what do you enjoy about your goals group, Leanne?
Sorry, what was the question?
What do you enjoy about your goals group?
Oh, just how supportive they are. Everybody in it wants it to be a very good experience. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Yes, good. Everybody wants it just to be a fun experience. They don't want it to be a burden. And we are really holding each other accountable, but in a very friendly, caring way. So we're achieving a lot.
Great. And what about you, Ruth?
Yeah, I find that we often just share a different point of view. So how do we expand each other's thinking into, a different perspective? Because often it can be quite lonely when you're in business on your own, or knowing where to go when you're working on these areas. So we all know what the similar goals are that we need to do from doing monthly work. And then we just sort of have a sounding board for each other mostly, and then offer tips and techniques from there, share information.
Yeah, and you say an interesting thing is that we can feel lonely, even if we've got a team of 25 staff, right? Because the conversations you have when you're speaking to other women business owners are totally different. The ability to ask questions and get trusted answers, answers that come from the experience of also, balancing a family and a business and clients and all the things that have to happen, having the right technology, having a plan in place. When we can have conversations with like-minded businesswomen, it relieves the overwhelm. And now there was a study done at one of the universities in the United States recently, and it talked about loneliness in business being one of the biggest killers of successful businesses. And to overcome the loneliness, the author of this particular article, who was professor, and I forget her last name now, was to get connected with like-minded peers, have accountability in your business. And she went on to list all these things. I was like, are you looking at our information page? That's exactly what we do inside of the HerBusiness Network. And so I so appreciate you being here. I'd love to ask you before I let you go today, if someone's sitting on the fence thinking, hey, yeah, I see this HerBusiness Network, I don't know, what would you say to them, Leanne?
I would say the support and encouragement that you're going to get from everybody will really help you on your way. Jump off that fence and do it. Everybody is so inspiring, and you're going to feel the benefits straight away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Leanne. Ruth, anything you would add?
My premise has always been to jump in first and then find out what happens. So I would say just get in there, because every group has its own style and flavour. But what I can say is that this one is wholly supportive, and it will just give you really solid foundations in every area. You could be busy for the next year watching podcasts or listening to podcasts and watching all the material. So you'll have something there that will bring value in many areas of your business. Absolutely.
One of the things I love to do is help women connect and help women tap each other's incredible brilliance, because inside the network, we're all in different industries. Some people are selling high ticket offers, some people are selling low cost items, some are online, some are offline, some are new to business, some have been in business for longer. And I think it's always interesting to have a conversation with someone who might be doing something totally different to you. So I want to invite you, if you'd be willing, to ask each other a question about business or each other's businesses. I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but is there anything that you heard today, or who would like to go first?
I'd like to ask
Ruth,
okay.
You go.
I'd like to know if now that you're out of the business and you've seen the opportunity for growth, are you looking to grow bigger than you currently are? And what's your thinking around how you might do that?
Where I am at the moment has a limited capacity. So I don't want to grow more than I am. I want to, what's the correct wording? You've got your solopreneur and your micropreneur. I would very much like to say a micropreneur. I don't have the vision of having 10 practices or anything like that. I think for me, I do still want to keep some personalization and keep my ethos through the business. And I don't think I will be able to do that getting bigger.
Yeah, that's interesting, because for me, micropreneur business is the right sort of business for me. And for those who are new to the terminology, solopreneur is usually you. Maybe you've got a couple of people that you outsource to. You might have a virtual assistant. You might even have a business partner. But if you're not working, the business really isn't working. And so for many of us to grow a sustainable, profitable business, there comes a point where we need to bring in other people, whether they're contractors, whether they're full-time, part-time, whatever it is. And we call that business model a micropreneur business. So you have between 2 and 15 staff. And then beyond that, we call that an entrepreneurial business. But here's the key, is that you can grow a sustainable business that doesn't burn you out as a solopreneur or a micropreneur. It's really about choosing this sort of business that you want and being very clear about that, and then lining up your plans and your marketing and your systems and your technology to match those for that type of business. The problem I see is that a lot of solopreneurs, they're really good at something, but they kind of can keep their head in the sand around the other things or be fearful about diving into them. And so you mentioned earlier, our HerBusiness growth zones are about us having really strong foundations in all the areas of business that we really need to be paying attention to. Now, we can't pay attention to them all the time. That's why inside the network, we cycle through different things depending what you're working on. Now, you have a question for Ruth, Leanne?
Yes. You just mentioned that during COVID, you had to make a lot of changes. What is one of the changes that, I've got too confronting, but what was one change that you definitely keep, like that you're happy that you made and it's definitely going to stay that way?
It was very confronting. I'll be really honest about that. And emotionally, it was really tough as well, because it was 2 years in a row where we had to look after the clients and go, what on earth are we all facing here? And how are they going to leave the business?
Yeah.
We managed to pivot pretty quickly online and doing hybrid. So that was producing online solutions. But our key thing that we were doing was committing to quality brand experiences, because we do work with corporate clients. So whether that's producing a product launch or a conference, we had to know that we were committed to doing it in a high quality way that was going to be upholding their brand. And what that's actually meant, it's been really fascinating, and we still don't know really the scope of where this can go, but it's meant that people have seen the benefits of reaching more people and at lesser costs. And so it's really going to be really creative. So we're still really committed on how do we really produce quality content that people will want to watch in an online environment. But also nowadays people are going into more of that hybrid or smaller satellite sort of regional centres and having maybe a big main stage in Sydney or another location. So it's opened up all sorts of areas for creativity and spreading the love in so much more way. And we'll keep going with that because there's so much flexibility with that. But
Mm.
for me, it's also about making sure that it's an experience where people feel that two-way engagement, because we want people to feel connected and part of something, not just watching something. It has to be dynamic and has to be good quality.
And the longer we're in
Totally
business, the longer we're going to see these changes. You know, we don't know, we couldn't have predicted the pandemic, or at least I couldn't, or any other economic change, or a technology changing, or a competitor coming into the market, or, you know, and so being nimble, being able to make those changes, you know, some of us got very, very close to really losing our businesses, you know, in the last few years. And so we've seen a lot of women just in the last few days, even that we've been open, who were members, and they hit a tough spot, and they thought, oh, you know, I don't need to be part of this network. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to cut my costs. And you know what's happened this week? They've come back. Because I kid you not. I was in our team meeting this morning saying, isn't it amazing how many members are coming back? Because they realize that the support, that trying to do it out there on your own is not it. And that we do need to have the right people around us. For some of us, it's our family. For some of us, it's our faith. But as business owners, I feel like we need another family around us. And that's the family of people who totally get what it's like to grow and scale a business. You know, our business, and I always treat it like an advisory board, you know, and it's the people that you can go to when things are going great, but also the people that you can go to when things are not going so great. And you really just need someone to, you know, banter with you around, you know, what steps you can take. I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to tell everybody about the opportunity to join the HerBusiness Network. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you inside the network, and I so appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All righty. You can take our advice, or you could go it alone. And right now, I would hate to see you go it alone, going from one thing to the next, not really sure what to focus on in your business when there is something available to you like the HerBusiness Network. Running a business can be lonely, as you heard my guest here say today. And if you add to that the pressure of always having to bring in new clients, it can be overwhelming. So how can you solve both of those things? One, bringing in new clients. Two, not feeling alone. Well, it's definitely the HerBusiness Network. And one of our members that I want to introduce you to, who wasn't here today, is the wonderful Yvonne Shepherd. Now, she also has a business that was very much impacted over the last 18 months because she runs an adventure business. She takes women out on fitness adventures. And what I've seen her do is grow her business by 500%, create a business that's scalable, move from just having an offline business to creating a strong online business that is now covering all her expenses. And she says, if I haven't invested in my business education, which is why she came to the HerBusiness Network, I would still have a hobby. And this is the lovely Kylie. She's a physio as well, right? We met Leanne earlier. She's a physio. And for her, it's about one day she wants to stop treating clients one-on-one, and she wants to follow her passion of working with people who have older dogs. So she's building an online business that trains owners of elderly dogs on how to care for them. This is the wonderful Fiona Keary of Style Liberation, who helps women create wardrobes full of clothes they absolutely love. Doesn't that sound like a good thing? And she is growing her business exponentially, getting the support of like-minded peers and marketing inside of the HerBusiness Network. And Debbie Minette, she's new in business. She's been in business just under 2 years. And so she's built her appointment book working with other members inside the HerBusiness Network. And this is one of our copywriters. We have a number of copywriters. This is Zoe. She had been in the network for 4 months. So she had paid a total of $388 because she was on our monthly plan at the time. And what happened? She's made over $9,000 in client work in that same time, representing a 2,400% return on her investment. Now, as business owners, we want to have a good return on investment. Another member who's had great return on investment is Frances Pratt, who's become our go-to expert for women who want to grow their business, but they hate sales. And whether your clients are other business owners, here's what I want you to know. We have incredible women in there, women who are mums, who are sisters, who are in menopause, who are wanting to conceive, who have daughters who are wanting to conceive, who need supplements or skincare or mortgages. Whatever you sell, there's people that you can connect to. This is the lovely Amy Lee of Heart Content, and she's had a wait list of clients waiting to do business with her all the years just about that she's been part of our network, because she's become known, liked, and trusted. as has Lauren Bartley of Impactiva, which is a digital agency. And she's helping women with all sorts of things from their Facebook ads to using Messenger more effectively. And so she's done over $48,000 in business working with members. Now, what does her business membership include? It includes over $13,000 in member benefits. $13,000. And I'm going to tell you what they are. And then I'm going to tell you the price, which is nothing like that. So every single month we run our roundtables. Now, these are ways for you to be with like-minded women, to have your own sounding board, to feel like you can be focused and have a really clear direction, to have your own board of advisors and people to ask questions of, to get trusted advice from women who get you and who are also growing and scaling a business. We also have our hot seats. Now, these are a really great way for us to get under the hood of your business and really give you support with a particular part of your business that might really need a makeover, or you might really need to get unstuck, or you have a specific challenge you need help with, and it's all about moving you forward, just like we did with these members here, Debbie and Karina, who we helped. Every single month, we bring in incredible experts who'll teach you anything from how to get a grant from the government, some free money, to how to create your content for the next year in just a few hours, to how to systemize your business so that you can get out of the day-to-day. These are our masterclasses, and we specifically invite experts to help you develop your skills, to work on your business, and to fill any gaps you have in your knowledge, because we don't know everything, right? And we have our members group, and this is gold. You're probably part of it, one or two Facebook groups. This is beyond. This is about connecting and meeting and sharing ideas with women just like the women you met here today, and getting referrals and leads and trying out new ideas and road testing that crazy idea that you have, or that new product or service, or getting women to do a survey. Would they buy this thing and how much would they pay? And having on-tap answers to your questions. Plus, every month we check in again. We do 2 networking events a month. And this time what we're doing is that we are stopping, pausing, reflecting on how the month has been, and doing some networking and getting some more tips for our own businesses, right? And this is Stephanie, who said it was validation and wonderful support. Now, you heard Ruth and Leanne talk about their goals groups. Our goals groups are our accountability groups, and we've included these. We could easily charge a couple of $1,000s a year for these, to put you with an advisory board group that is just right for you. But we don't. We include it inside of your membership. And some of our groups have gone on to stay together for up to 10 years and see each other through births, deaths, and marriages as they're growing their businesses. Liz was releasing her book about her journey through breast cancer. Her goals group supported her to get the book out in time. Donna is in aged care, and she says she just couldn't do it without her business buddies. And that is what the goals groups are there for. But every single month, as I said, we focus on these growth zones. Ruth mentioned these. And that is making sure that whether you're a solopreneur or a micropreneur, you have a plan, you're using the right technology and not paying too much money. You have a way to know how much money is coming in and what's going out and where you stand every single day. Plus, you're being more innovative with your marketing and really standing out from the competition with messaging that makes you attract and convert and lead more of your ideal clients your way. As I said, loads and loads and loads of resources helping you grow your business every single day. There's over $13,000 in goodies. But before I tell you the price, that's not all. You get all of that, but just for this week, we've added some incredible bonuses. One is 2 tickets to our annual HerBusiness Live event. This is an online event where women from all over Australia, members, join to network, to hear from world-class speakers, to make connections, to get inside tips, to actually work on your business for a day. You can see this photo behind me. You can see the members on the screen behind me from all over Australia and increasingly the world joining in on this day. Now, tickets do sell to the general public for $795. So if you want to come along next year, it's $795 a ticket. But if you're a member of the HerBusiness Network, you get 2 tickets free. So that alone is worth your investment in the network. Plus, of course, we're not going to leave you just there. We've got another bonus. Week after next, we start a 3-month coaching program for our members. It is called the Find Your Focus Coaching Program, and it's about how you can get out of overwhelm and get confident about the exact steps that you need to do next to grow your business to 6 or 7 figures. So this is a brand new coaching program. It's just for our members. And so if you feel overwhelmed or swamped, or you've got too many things on the go, you're not sure which guru strategy you're going to follow next, this is where you want to be. But we start really, really soon, and we've included incredible resources, all free for our members as part of this coaching program. Finally, there's one more thing. Have you ever introduced yourself to someone and soon enough you get that they don't get what you're doing? Or you've asked someone what they do and they're talking for 5 minutes and your eyes are rolling in the back of your head and you're like, I have no idea what she just said. So this program is about making sales with one conversation. It's about how to craft your connection statement. That's our proprietary way to talk about your business in a way that has people want to do business with you, has them lean in and say, tell me more about that. And there's bonus after bonus after bonus included, because we wanted to make this a no-brainer for you, from how to make more connections, getting away from isolation and getting more connected with your ideal clients, to a library with incredible world-class speakers, best-selling authors that is there on tap. You heard Leanne say about it. You can tap into the library at any point. If you're looking to hire someone, or you're looking to create a lead magnet, or you want to launch your own online course, we've got resources that are available for you on tap. We've got a book club where 4 times a year I send you a book. Like, you're thinking, wow, this is a lot, Susie. It is. We've built all this value. And here's what it's not going to cost you. It's not going to cost you what coaching costs. It's not going to be like $400 to $1,500 a month. It's not going to cost you what mentoring costs, which even mentoring with us is about $400 a session. And it's not going to cost you what you would pay to do an online course for a few weeks and then be left kind of to your own devices. And those usually fall around $2,000. In fact, we've built an incredible package that includes all those things that I mentioned, all your bonuses, the 3 bonuses that we've added on top. So the coaching program, the Conversations That Sell program, and 2 tickets to HerBusiness Live. That's over $35,000 in value. And it's all how much? Can you guess? It's less than $20 a week. It's $97 a month, and you can cancel anytime, or it's $970 for the whole year. So for a whole year of training and support and access to experts, it's less. If you break down the annual fee, it's about $16 a week or something like that. It's something crazy. But we want this to be a no-brainer for you. We want you to be able to dive in confidently. You always inspire me, even after 3 years of membership. Oh, who is that? I'm going to have to pop across on the page and see who that is. Maybe one of my team can let me know so I can. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's important for me because we need inspiration as business owners, right? We need to know that we've got this, that there is a path for us, that there is someone who has our back and he's watching out for us. And I've been doing this for over 26 years now. And here's what I know. I totally back what we do. And that's why your membership comes with a money back guarantee. So if in 30 days you think, oh, this isn't the right thing for me, then you can cancel and there is absolutely no penalty. We will give you your money back, whether you parted with your first month's fee of $97 or whether you paid for the whole year, you get your money back. So there is no risk to you. And as I mentioned earlier, we're finding women who were members in the past are coming back this week, because we really do have this incredible culture. And why do we do this? Why am I opening up this week when it's getting close to Christmas and I could be doing nothing? I could be preparing for 3 weeks off. I'm doing this because this is my mission. My mission is to help as many women as possible be financially free through their business by growing profitable businesses that allow them to have the impact and the results that they want. The other reason is that I love sharing our client stories, right? I told you just a couple today. Just last night, actually, I was over on our Instagram account and members were writing messages about the different benefits they've had. And I was lying in bed, mind you, screenshotting the posts. And, that's something one of the team would do anyway. But I was just so excited because I love to share their stories. And like whether it's these women you're seeing here on the screen or whether, more importantly, a year from now, it's your story that I'm sharing here. Just like I shared Amy's story or Anna's story or Christy Lee's story, which I often share. I want to be sharing your story because you've made these milestone leaps. You've gone from perhaps being overworked and underpaid to finally having a business where you feel so proud of what you've done. And that's the opportunity that's available for you, because the cost of not doing anything right now and letting us close the doors tonight at 9 p.m. Sydney time and not doing anything is that you're going to be on the outside. You're not going to get to do the 3-month coaching program. You're not going to get into a goals group and have accountability. You're not going to be at our January event where we're bringing in a bunch of experts for a think tank with our members. For those of you members, I haven't told you that yet, but now you know. Little alert, because we've been working on our calendar. And right now inside the network, all our members are working on their 2022 plans. It's planning month. When we talk about our growth zones right now, we're all planning. So we've got planners, we're setting time aside to plan. It's all about the planning because we want to start the year off really strong. And the catch is this. The catch is that we close at 9 p.m. tonight, Sydney time. So if you're watching this now and it's not that time yet, I really want you to go across to HerBusinessNetwork.com. I'm going to put that here, HerBusinessNetwork.com, and join. And if you've got questions, when you go to that page, there's a live chat. My team are there to take your questions. You can pick up the phone and call our office. We're going to be available. So just let us know what you need, right? Once again, there's an incredible opportunity for you to take advantage of all these incredible benefits. There is bonus on bonus on bonus and offer. And we do this because we want to make it easy for you. And we do want to have you have everything at your fingertips, So I want to thank my guests for being here today. When you go across to HerBusinessNetwork.com, I want you to let you know what happens. You go to a page that looks like this. You'll see my smiley face at the top. You'll click the blue button. It'll ask you for your first name and your email address, and you'll go to the order form. And the order form will give you some of those bonuses that I've mentioned. It'll outline those, and it'll show you the price. And you can choose to pay monthly or annually. Once you hit that form and you go through, you're going to hear from us straight away. There'll be a video from me welcoming you. There'll be an invitation to join the new members Facebook group. And there'll be a personal message from me saying, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Then we get you started. We get you into the member directory. We give you access to the library. You get started on the coaching program. There is so much goodness for you. It's on the other side. These are some messages welcoming some of our new members. So if you're sitting on the fence, and you're seeing this message, here's what I want you to do. I'd love for you to tell me why you're sitting on the fence. Now, you can hop across to HerBusinessNetwork.com and send a private message, or you can post something here below and I'll be watching out for those. But here's the thing. You don't want to be sitting on the fence saying, oh, I know I've tried everything I can, but I'm at a point and I've used all the organic growth I can get. Now I know I need to be more intentional. I need to have a plan. I can't stop throwing things at the wall, keep throwing things at the wall, hoping something's going to stick, or going down one bright, shiny object, or working so damn hard. Right. I really, if I sound passionate, it's because I am, because I see the results that women inside the Her Business Network are getting. I'm seeing the inspiration they have. I see them creating plans, having breakthroughs in their marketing, finally reaching stages in business where they're bringing on staff members and they can confidently pay them every single month, or bringing in a CEO for those who are more advanced in their businesses, or finally being able to hire an ad agency to do those stupid Facebook ads that are so hard to make work. Whatever that is for you, or whether it's being able to pay for the family holiday, or feel like you're making more of a contribution to your family or your community or your faith, or buying that luxury car, I do not care what it is. It's whatever it is for you. For me, it was being financially free by a particular age. That was my goal. That's what I was going after. And that was my commitment to growing a business that was scalable, a business that had the right technology and marketing that worked. And so I could go to sleep and I'd wake up and there'd be more money in the bank than the day before. And that's what I want for you. So if you're sitting on the fence, now is the time to jump, because you belong here. If anything here resonated with you, then you belong inside the Her Business Network. And I'd love for you to join us. We've got all the goodies for you, but most of all, this is about you. This is about you. And I'm going to just take this off the screen because I want you to see my face. This is about you saying yes to you. This is about you saying yes to a different year next year than this year was. Now, there were some things out of our control this year, but here's what you can control. You can control where you put your time and your effort. You can control who you surround yourself with. You can control what you say yes to. And I'd love for you to say yes to your business in a way that you haven't done before. Here's what I want you to know. Your $79 a month, it's a very small investment in you having the life that you want and the business that you want. You want to really think about that. So if you're thinking, oh, how will I explain that to my partner that I want to spend that money? If you leave here today and the doors close, what are you going to do for the next few months when we're not available? Because we can Google all the stuff. We can check out the meta universe and see what's available, and that can all help. There are great books to read. You can see I'm a book lover. But ultimately, for me, we become the sum of the people around us. And for me, I like to have smart businesswomen around me. And that's why I love the Her Business community. That's why I've dedicated 20-something years of my life to supporting as many women as possible to grow sustainable businesses. So Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to our guests. And I would love to support you. Just head on over to herbusinessnetwork.com and the team will take good care of you. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside, because we get started right away. We have our welcome celebration next week. Coaching program starts the week after. It's all happening because now is not the time to put the brakes on your business. If you're thinking, I'll just do it next year, time is going to pass, whether you do anything or not. So my vote is always for doing something, and doing something that's going to support you at the highest level. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.